Okay. Today's section is really important. So important, we're going to spend 2 days doing it. And then we have a quiz on Thursday. Okay. So here's the deal. We're going to talk about something called function notation. Okay. What is function notation? Okay. Function notation is this right here. And we read it as f of x. Okay. F of x is going to replace y. Basically, we're taking the fact that, hey, functions are special, and we're going to give them special notation, f of x. Okay, this is important. In function notation, our parentheses do not mean multiply. So functions are like a machine. What do you put in the washing machine?
Detergent.
Pretty close. What kind of clothes?
Water.
Probably dirty clothes.
No, but your brain goes to the washer.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Like
Okay.
clothes.
Sorry. We put dirty clothes in the washing machine and we get out clean and wet clothes, right? And then we take our clean and wet clothes and we put them in the dryer and we get out
Warm clothes.
warm and dry clothes, hopefully, right? We take cookie dough and we put it in the oven and we get out cookies.
Cook cookies.
I know. Okay. So a function is a machine. Okay. Okay. Where we're going to put in our input into the equation and we're going to get out an output. Input, output. We've heard those words before. Input. What letter have we been using for input? X has been our input. Y has been our output. Nope. We're inputting the X into the equation, and our output is going to be the Y value. Guess what? You just did that in the warm-up I gave you for the whiteboard.
Actually,
Is it really that easy?
Our notation is just going to be different. Are you ready?
So it's not that easy.
Okay. Okay. So here we go. Y equals negative 4x plus 7. In function notation, we will write f of x equals negative 4x plus 7. The y just got replaced with f of x. Please, everybody read this with me. F of x. Okay. Thank you. So, I'm sorry, I can't control it. So when I can control that. So when x equals 2, when x equals 2, what we're going to do is we're going to say, all right, f of 2. So instead of y, I just have f of 2. So notice how f of x has now become f of 2. So I'm inputting 2 into our f machine. Well, our f machine is negative 4x plus 7. But instead of x, what do I have right here? 2. Okay, so f of 2, aka y, when x is 2, is negative 1. Okay. Okay, so it's the same thing, but we got to get used to function notation. Now, here's the deal. When I see this, f of 2 equals negative 1. I know that we have the coordinate x is 2, y is negative 1. I can see that all at once. I can see we have the coordinate negative, or excuse me, positive 2, negative 1. Okay, let's try another one. Turn the fan on, they say. All right. Well, and let's talk about this. Okay. So we know that I want you to label this. This is our input. This is our output. And it means we have 2, negative 1 if we were to graph. Okay. It's easy to see that when it's in function notation. Okay. Guess what we're going to talk about next when x equals
Negative 4.
Okay, so f of negative 3. Well, we know f of x is negative 4x plus 7. But instead of x, what do we have right here? We have negative 3. So f of negative 3, when we plug negative 3 in to our function, our output is 19. Okay, what does that mean? We have the coordinate negative 3 comma 19 on the graph. Input negative 3, output 19. This is so beautiful. What? Turn to the next page. What? I know. We good now? Okay, we're going to look at number 1. So I want to know what the function is when x is negative 4, 0, and 2. All right, so here's our function notation. I want to know, whoops, f of negative 4, f of 0, and f of 2. Okay, so this is what I would do anytime I have an input output situation. F of x is negative x plus 4. So you know what I'm going to write? I'm going to write negative x plus 4. But instead of x, I'm going to write parentheses. Then I'm going to look, okay, well, I have negative 4 here. So that is what's going to go here for my x. So what does negative 4 mean? Okay, so what is this output?
8.
It's 8. Okay. Okay. So f of -4 equals 8. So like, I guess what I'm trying to, f of -4 equals 8. That's what I'm going for. Okay. Now, f of 0. Well, f of x is -x plus 4. So I'm going to write negative parentheses plus 4. But instead of x, I'm going to plug in 0. What's -0 plus 4? Positive 4. So f of 0 equals 4. -0 is not a thing. Yeah. So what kind of equation is this? Well, that's like, if it's linear, we're going to have that pattern. Yeah.
So no matter what, if you do an equation like this, it's gonna always add up linear.
If it's linear. If it's linear. Okay. Now, f of 2. My f of x is -x plus 4. My input is 2, so wherever there's an x, I'm going to put in a 2. And my output, -2 plus 4, would be 2. So f of 2 equals 2. What's nice about this notation is I can see 3 coordinates without having to look all over my paper. We have a coordinate -4, 8, 0, 4, and 2, 2. Do you have a question? Awesome. Then I would like you to go to number 3 and find me the same things. F of -4, f of 0, f of 2. Well, I want you to go number 3.
Actually, it says H.
Oh.
What does H mean?
So do you know how like you're Kyron and he's Brooks? We have an f function. This is the function h. It's just a different name. Okay.
Actually, I am.
He's Harry.
I got it done.
You have 2 minutes. Go.
I'll try to put blame on somebody else.
Hey Henry, what did you get for h of -4? Okay, so this would be 7 plus 8.
Yeah, because you're
Get a better look.
Drew, what did you get for h of 0? 7. Good. Tyron, what did you get for h of 2?
I got 3.
Does anybody have a disagreement about any of these 3? Ella, are you good with these? Henry, you're good now?
What do you think?
Is the sky blue? Okay. So let's go ahead and take a scenario and talk about what function notation would mean. So N of T is the number of DVDs. T after T trips to the video store. So n of 0 equals 8. What does that mean? Ian.
0 trips.
After 0 trips to the store, we have 8 games. Right? Does that make sense? After 0 trips, we have 8 games. Oh, fine. Okay. So, Kyron, I really love that you want to answer this one, but I think that somebody who hasn't spoken yet today should answer this.
I think you know it.
So, Kari. But I think you can. Uh-huh. Yeah. Very good. Lame, right? Okay. Allison, what does C mean? Okay. Oh, okay. So she said if you take 5 trips, you're going to have more DVDs than when you've taken 3 trips. Does that sound good? That sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to number 8. Aaron was so ready, and now I'm just skipping over it. Oh, ho, ho.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
That was so low.
Know what you got solving for X here?
Oh. So in number 8, it says, find the value of X. So yes, we are solving for X. So here we have function B. B of X is negative 3X plus 1. And I'm telling you that B of X equals negative 20. No, because negative 20 is B of X. This is B of X right here. This is B of X right here. So, Kyra, what are we gonna write?
X equals 7.
You get there for like, what's the first thing I write?
B of X. I just got it. So you subtract 1 from 20.
Okay, so before we do that, B of X is what? No. Negative 20 is B of X. So negative 20 equals negative 3X plus 1. That's what we're gonna do. Henry. Okay. Hey, Kyron. Kyron, is the answer 7? Let's talk about how to get it. I don't want you to tell me.
You subtract 1.
Okay. Since B of X is 20, negative 20, I took B of X and I replaced it with negative 20. So yes, now I can subtract 1. And now we can divide by 3.
Actually, negative 3.
Thank you. Okay, so what does this mean? X equals 7. This means B of 7 equals negative 20. That's what we solved for. What did you realize? What? We have already done all of this before. It's just different notation.
I did a 2-day process.
because in my past experience, it's an uncomfortable transition. You're better? Okay. How about you try number 9? Prove it. Light work, prove it.
Light work, no reaction. You know what that is?
Who is that?
I will. Well, I got it before, but I was.
Hey, guess what? Speed is not important right now.
But if I also get it wrong,
Why do you have your shoes on?
Huh?
Hunter,
There's no, I was thinking about getting a pair. What color should I get, Connor? Is the brown or the black? Yeah, I was thinking black though. I like it.
All right, voices off. Voices off. If 33 is R of X, what do we get for X? DJ. 9. Okay. Now, after our quiz, we are going to spend a lot of time graphing lines. Okay, so we're going to get a little intro to that here. Okay, so next page, we're going to look at number 12. I want to graph S of X equals 1/2 X minus 4. So I have some coordinates I have some inputs where we're going to get outputs and be able to graph them. Now, Ian has already let us know that if we have a linear function, we are going to see what? A constant rate of change. Okay. So if X is -4, S of -4 would be 1/2 times -4 minus 2. What is that?
That's -2 minus 2.
Yeah, that's.
Which is -4. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's cat.
Now we're going to input -2. And because this is the input of -2 to get our output of yeah.
No.
Correct, but I don't want just the function. I want this function right here. So I'm going to input 0 into X, and my output is -2. So I have the coordinate 0, -2. What?
Every number of X you put in like the
It's going to give us a different output. Yeah.
Wait, but even if you started doing it, once we got -4 and -3, they're constant.
Okay, when I plug in 2, 1/2 times 2 minus 1. Without doing the input output, what's the Y coordinate for 4?
0.
And we know that because we should have a constant rate of change if it's a line.
Will this be considered a function? Yes, this will be.
Is it considered a function? Specifically, what kind of function? Yep.
Linear.
Continuous linear function. Yes. DJ.
It's all real numbers, right, too?
So I gave you all of these. And what we do is we put them in for X. So like here, I plug 2 in for X. 1/2 times 2 minus 2 is going to give us -1. Are you with me? Okay. Yeah, on your way out, you can. Okay. So you're kind of telling me that this doesn't feel too bad.
Yeah,
Oh, honestly, not too bad.
It's still gonna be a 2-dayer.
I know, but it's some of him.
Okay, so your homework is going to be a book assignment that I will post here in like the next 30 minutes.